we actually can wait. I'm going to wait a little bit to see if we can get some people joining on with us. Give it a couple minutes, a minute or so.
People tune in that quick?
It takes time. That's what we're going to wait. Give it about a minute and then we'll begin.
They usually see it and it comes across their phone. She's doing something live. You'll see. So,
See, there's one. Someone's watching now. So it goes. Oh, looks like
me too, because I never do this. There's your arrow. Oh my goodness.
one more.
Watch the cats on it. You will see you in the background.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, beloveds, to our Motivation Monday movement. I am your host, Shermanda Ramsey, with Bridge of Love Dimension 7 Ministries. This is a ministry that I created to unite and bridge all sectors in our city with love, education, and understanding to truly unite us as one, to bring healing, health, and wholeness for safety and prosperity. Today we have Helen Watson joining us, who is the Community Director of Washington Heights. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you, Ms. Shermanda, for inviting me.
Yes, well, it's a pleasure to have you. And we want to ask Ms. Helen some things about herself. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do here at Washington Heights.
Well, my name is Helen Hooper Watson, as Ms. Shermanda said, and I'm Community Director for Washington Heights and other low-income areas around the Northwest Jacksonville. What I do here is I bring in community agencies, organizations for the residents here and for other properties, but education, ministry, anything, activities, anything of that sort that I think the residents need for Washington Heights and for other communities. That is my job, to bring them here to connect with the residents or connect the residents with the city. So that's what I do.
Well, as you know, and as we all know, there's been a lot of negative press, and there are a lot of things that are taking place in our communities. But we're here to actually bring you hope, love, and some good news, some positive feedback and positive things that are taking place in the community. And Ms. Helen Hooper Watson has created a program called Hooping for Hopes. Hooping for Hopes, and this is the second year that it is in progress. And can you tell us a little bit about Hooping for Hopes?
Okay, Hooping for Hopes is our second annual this year in June. Last year was our first, so that was our trial and error, but last year was our first Hooping for Hopes. And Hooping for Hopes is to bring community, ministry, and law enforcement together in our community. It's going to be held over in the Ken Knight Park. It's Charles Reese Park, but everybody calls it Ken Knight Park. And what that does is bring our community, get our ministries to come out in the community and surrounding communities. That gets our law enforcement involved, and that gets our community involved. But Hooping for Hopes is for the encouragement of men, the uplifting of men of all ages in the community, not only in Northwest Jacksonville, but around the city. But Northwest Jacksonville is where the focus is, because that's where I work, those are the people that I help, and that's the biggest need that I see.
Okay. That's Hooping for Hopes. And where, which park will it be?
It's going to be at Charles Reese Park. It's located in the Ken Knight community itself, but everybody calls it Ken Knight Park. But it's Charles Reese Memorial Park, located in Ken Knight.
Ken Knight. And how has the support been in the community for you?
The support has been, we have to gauge it So some of the ministries that I have are partners. They've been longtime partners. So they were not hard to get aboard. But a lot of the ministries that are around in this area, Washington Heights, close to Washington Heights, it's been kind of hard to get them on board in their ministries just to come out. Like I said, it's geared toward men. So we want the males to, the ministers to tap their males, their youth programs, their ministers, their whatever they have going on in their church for males. We want them to tap them, get them stirred up, and get them out to this event, because we don't just want to be there, with some of the men that we're trying to help. We also need the ministries to come out and support this. But what I find is I'm running into a lot of closed doors because everybody has their own agenda. And when I say they have their own agendas, everybody does not want to, if it's, and I'm just going to be true, if it's not their thing, they don't want to be a part of it. But if we're all serving the same God and building the same kingdom, we have to come out of our churches and come out of the doors and help those that we see on the news, we see that make the news every afternoon at 5 o'clock. I see a young man getting shot here and getting shot there. If we want to help bridge those gaps, we're going to have to come out of our churches. We're going to have to come out of our comfort zones, and we're going to have to come where the men are. And Washington Heights, Kennight, and surrounding areas where I work are where those young men, not only young men, young adult men, older men, teenage men, that's where they are. So those are the people that we're trying to help. So the ministries have come together, but they're not close to the community where the need is. They're spread out all over Jacksonville. They're on the south side, they're on the west side. They're not around, where where my focus is. So we're trying to get the ministries to come out.
Okay. So what I am hearing, everyone, and I hope that you're hearing what Ms. Watson is asking. She's asking for those that are in the Washington Heights area to come and connect.
Yes.
You have someone that has a positive program taking place to bring forth some positive movements and some things that will bring about positive change in the community. But if we're not willing to unite and make this a oneness, then, we're going to continue getting the same result. You know how they say, how can you get something new doing the same thing you've always done? And we've always been in a place of doing our own thing. If it's not mine, I won't touch it. It's time out for that. It's time for us to unite as one. We're all in this thing together. And unless you ask for help, you won't get it. Helen Hooper Watson with Hooping for Hopes is asking for the community's help. She's asking for the men to come out and take part in rearing our men, being that motivation, being, the ones that they can look up to. We need role models in the area that's willing to come out and not feel that, oh no, that's not my problem. Guess what it is? You're in this city, and eventually it comes knocking at your door if you don't take care of it right where it is. So we're needing those of you who have the heart that's truly saying, look here, I want to be a part of change, not just sitting and watching the news saying, man, that's bad. Oh man, we're in a bad place. Guess what? We're not. We are God's children. We have been given the power and the authority to make change. But guess what? It's not going to take place if we don't use that we've been given to use. He has given us dominion, power, and authority. And we're taking authority in Jesus' name in this place to begin to make change. We're taking our city back. We're not going to allow the enemy to have control and say that it's theirs. Look here, we're here. So if we're here and we belong to who we say we belong to, then this city belongs to us. This city belongs to our Father. So we're going to do our part, Ms. Helen,
Amen.
to get this word out. I hope you all are listening. Those that are, I don't care if you're near or far, if you know people that are here in Jacksonville that can reach out to Ms. Helen. We're going to get some more information. But what I heard her saying is that she's reached out to those that are here in this area and they have not reached back, and she's having to go clear across town. And we thank those that have said, yes, we're going to take your hand. But guess what? We need people that are right here next door in the community. The Bible says, how can you love someone who you've never seen, but love, say you love me? You can. You say you love him, but you can't love the one that you see every day. And actually, the sad part is that you're not even allowing yourself to be seen. That's the problem. We're locked up in our four walls of our churches or in the four walls of our home, closing the doors, don't even know our neighbors, not willing to go out and say, look here, I'm here for you. Can I know your name? What are you doing? See a young person on the street, stop and talk to them. Sometimes that's all it takes. Miss Helen, what do you need?
I need, like I said earlier, I need ministries to come together in our community. This is our community. When I say our community, that's everybody. Like Miss Shermanda was saying, that's everybody in the community. Because the community wants help. They cry out for help. I see people on the news saying that we need help on this side of town, but I do not see people actually coming out to combat the problem itself. The community has to take responsibility for its own sins. That means whatever we have planted has come back and it has manifested to what we see today. We see shootings, we see robberies, we see this. Being in the community, working in this community, I've seen things that are not necessarily the fault of others. We're asking for help for things that we can actually combat ourselves. So when we come together as a whole, as a community as a whole, we can combat the problems that I see. I don't see other people coming in the community shooting and killing each other. I see our young men on the corner shooting and killing each other. I see people talking about it, but I don't see anybody doing anything about it. They're not coming to the communities where I work. They're not coming to see the young men that I see on the corner. They're not coming to the young men that I see hanging in the cut and in Knight and surrounding areas. We need people to stop talking about problems, having 100 meetings for one community. If we're having 100 community meetings for one community, how are we going to combat that problem? If we're working on one thing, if we're serving the same God and we're trying to get the same problem taken care of, I see ministers having meetings all over the city about one thing. While we're meeting 100 times in 100 places about one community. So this is what Hooping for Hopes is all about. We need to come together. We need to stop talking about and do something about it. Talking is not going to do anything. That's not movement. Talking is sitting still. Movement is getting out, putting your feet on the ground, chilling the atmosphere, planting seeds, meeting these young men that I see. Most of them don't want to shoot and kill and selling drugs. Most of them want someone who can take their hand and say, this is how you get to your next life level. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. I may have a felony, but they're young man, this is the way to get around that. I don't see that happening. I have very few men that will come out and actually commit and stay committed to that movement that I'm talking about. So when I want to bring Hooping for Hopes will bring ministry, community, and law enforcement together. We can not ask for help for a community that it doesn't want to help itself. So if I don't want to help myself, that's just like Miss Shermanda giving me all the tools to build a house. I got my nails, I got my brick and mortar, I have the wood, I have the plot, I have everything. And I'm gonna sit back and ask somebody, well, let's go get the mayor to see will he build this house for me. Nobody's gonna do that. So we need to stop talking about it and be about it. Get out, get your feet on the ground. If you have men ministry, if you have youth ministries, bring them out on that day. We're going to have some men that are going to encourage their hearts, we're going to uplift them, we're going to have a prayer chant. We're doing that type of thing. But if you are not a part of the solution, you are definitely a part of the problem. So the ministers, I'm speaking to our ministers in this community, we need to get out, stop dressing up in our suits and going to the podiums and calling the news and get on the news and say we need to stop this. We need to get to the core problem. Why are our young men shooting each other? Why are our young men killing each other? We need to get to that problem. I don't see anybody holding signs saying, stop killing each other. But I see them when the police has a chase or a high-speed chase and this, that, and the other. Find out why they are chasing that young man. What compels him to steal? What compels him to rob and kill? What compels them to shoot each other? That's what we're trying to combat. So that is the whole vision for Hooping for Hopes. We have to combat this problem. No one is going to help anyone who doesn't want to help themselves. So we need to get into the community and see why our young men are on the corner and they do not have a vision for themselves. Men, if you have a vision for another young man, you need to come out to Hooping for Hopes and you need to Pour into that young man. Pour into his support. Bring your sons, bring your male ministries, bring who you can to this event so we can pour into that young man. There is something that a young man needs. There is a core problem to every problem. We need to get to the core problem and see what are these young men having trouble with. Why are they raping, stealing, killing in their own community? They're pillaging their own community, and we need to get to the bottom of that. That is the whole vision for Hope and Crowds.
All right. We need the hands and feet of Jesus.
Yes, we do.
You say you love him. We need to see some movement now, because he was one that went out and laid hands. He took care of a problem. He fed the people. When he spoke to them, he didn't just send them back on their way because he said that they would die on the way. He actually fed them. So we're needing those that say, you know, I have something to give. Or even if you don't know exactly what to give, but you have a heart to want to give back, we're needing you to connect. Miss Helen's going to give you some information, but also you have Bridge of Love Dimension 7 Ministries that you can connect with. Send us a message. We will connect you with what you're doing. Tell us what your hands. We're using what is in our hands right now. Okay, we're needing just people that with willing hearts. It's just like Jesus needs ones that are availing themselves to be used. You know, we always can sit back and say, well, yes, this is what I am. But guess what? If it's not showing up, I don't know what you are. And, you know, let's put our money where our mouth is, put our hands to the ground to make this thing happen. Miss Helen, I want to know, how can people participate? Let's tell the people how they can participate today.
You can participate by coming out. First of all, bringing your ministry out. Any male ministry around the surrounding areas, the northwest side of Jacksonville, surrounding Jacksonville, all over Jacksonville. Bring out your males. That's one way you can participate. You can come out and support the men who are already going to be out there, the young men that are coming in. Second of all, you can call, you can come and you can donate. We need water. You know, we need clothes for males that are coming in. There's going to be some men that are coming from the missions downtown that need clothing. You can participate that way. We need water. We need food. We need things of that sort. If you're a vendor and you have something that's geared toward men, bring that out. You can come out and participate in that way. So we just need you, anything that you have that we can use for this event. And don't forget, it's geared toward males, and encouraging, giving them hope and giving them something that they can hold on to, because some of them don't have anything to hold on to. So that is what we're doing. If you have anything that men can use to get to their next life level, we're asking you to bring that out on that day.
Okay, again, she said they're needing anything you have. It's going to be an outside event.
It is.
What's the date again?
It's going to be June 17th. At 11, it's going to start at 11, and it's going to be the 5-on-5 basketball tournament. The basketball is the draw, but we're going to be doing other things there. We're going to try and bless God's men, because whomever they are, I don't care what they're doing right now. They can be smoking crack, they can be smoking cigarettes, they can be doing all manners of things. They can be alcoholics, but they're still God's people. So that's what we're after. We're after God's men. The devil is after God's men because they're the male. And they have that seed. So we need to protect, we need to uplift, we need to encourage and let them know God still has a plan. If you are still breathing, God still has a purpose. Your purpose is still alive, it's living. We just need to excavate it, we just need to uncover it, and we need to get them on the right track. They are the foundations of our family, and they need to be present. So that's what we're asking.
All right, June 17th, we're needing you. If you have donations of clothing for the men, from the children to the adults. Okay, and we need water. We all know that it's hot in June. I mean, the heat is coming on. And if you have tents even that you could provide and come and set up and just be there. We just need people to be there. Come in and be there. Make yourself known. Let yourself be present. Food, water, tents, whatever you have in your hand. If you know how to play some basketball, if you know how to play some cards. I remember coming up, they used to have the little card and the checkup board. Set a checkup board up at the events. Set a card table up and sit and, you know, play some cards, play some checkers, bring some kickballs. You know, you got the younger kids that may even want to play kickball on the side. You know, we did a lot of things outside that now the kids are so focused on technology, and even some of them don't have that. So guess what? They turn to what they do have, and that's the streets, and we know what the streets bring. But guess what? Again, I say we've been given the power and the authority in Jesus, and we are his, and he is ours. We can go forth and know that wherever we is, we will shift the atmosphere. We are atmosphere shifters for our Father, and we're here to change things with Miss Helen, starting with this Hooping for Hopes, June 17th, June 17th
at 11 o'clock.
At 11 o'clock
at Charles Reese Park, Knight Park.
Knight Park. Yes. Charles Reese Park is the Knight Park.
Yes.
In the Washington Heights area. Again, I'm making a plea for the pastors and the community leaders. And you know what? If you're not a leader, if you don't, because it's not about titles. Jesus will use anybody. Okay, if you have a heart, that's who we want to come out. We want those that, you know, just really have love in themselves to say, you know what, I'm going to give what I can. And again, it may not be basketball, but like I said, whatever you have. You got card games, you got board games, you got kickball, anything will be a blessing to this area. And it's starting something that, guess what, we're not going away.
No, we're not.
We're here to stay. This motivation Monday movement is here, and we're looking for positive activities that are taking place. It's enough negative stuff taking place. We understand it. That's real on that side, but what's real to me is my Father when he says that we have the ability to make the change. We have the ability to bring forth that he has called for. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. There's safety, there's prosperity, there's wholeness, there's healing, okay? His glory is in heaven, therefore it's on this earth. That's what we're speaking, that's what we're receiving, because that is what the word tells us, and that is what we stand on. I want to thank you all. Thank you again, Miss Helen.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, for joining us, and, you know, creating, having the heart, you know, to just give back, you know, the visionary of Hooping for Hopes, Helen Hooper Watson is with us today, and we thank you, and I look forward to meeting and connecting with many of you that are out there doing some positive things. But we again want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for just taking the time, and I pray that you've heard the heart of the community and have the heart to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Shermanda Ramsey, your host of Bridge of Love Dimension 7, saying goodbye until next Monday, Motivation Monday Movement. Have a blessed day.